Um, what the Sigma? Hi. Alright, yeah. Hi, I'm Wisteria Cassiopei. I'm gonna be continuing Limbus Company's Twining Threads. Not much to really go over. Aside from, I got this motherfucker.
키치부터 아방가르드까지 무엇 하나 빠짐이 없도록 제가 직접 큐레이팅 해드리죠.
That voice line sounded tinny. Such vibrant freshness, even after an entire day outside the storage. In a mere month, you've absorbed the finer points of this technique like a sponge, down to the microscopic subtleties only relentless obsession can hope to capture. Chalky white calories showered in even drier, sterile light. Laid upon the sharp, angled machine palm was a beating, bright red heart. Just as the child observed earlier, there was even a vibrant sheen to it, as though it was only recently removed from storage, or a body. Faust intends to commit your teachings in their entirety to Faust, down to the smallest marginalia? Okay. Because Faust is a genius. You may succeed yet indeed. Many students have I cultivated under my tutelage, but I have not seen anyone master the arts as quickly as Faust does. Not since that chat. I have no more heart sculpting lessons to give. Starting tomorrow, we will shift our focus to the details. Ah, do you mean to let Fascia partake in your artwork again? Yes, it would be best if Fascia experienced the work in the most holistic manner, through her digestive organs. Bravo! Utter perfection, both the journey and the destination. John closed his eye, his lips drawing a satisfied smile. This boast could not be attributed not only to his reunion with the long-lost delight of guiding a protege, but also to the fact that the protege was a rare kind of voracious genius who readily devoured his teachings. When do you expect Fascia to be completed? Uncertain as of yet, the intensity of dedication seems to directly correlate with the anxiety about shortcomings. Maestro, how much time did you dedicate to perfecting tibia? Many years, a decade of which was solely dedicated to sculpting and polishing its form. Huh? Child gazed down upon tibia, his eye gleaming not with pride, not with love, but something more. Something more. Something more. When tibia earned its status as a magnum opus, it was for its plasticity. It retains the nigh infinite possibilities of the human corpus, an automated judgment to instinctively transform, lengthen, and harden itself in response to environmental stimuli. Nanomachine, son. My colleagues at the Ring were most captivated by tibia, but alas, tibia was a once-in-a-lifetime project, as its creation consumed the entirety of my physical corpus. If plasticity is the primary concern, perhaps the corpus of another, worthy of aesthetic appreciation, could have been used as medium for your next project? The corpora of others are unfamiliar media when compared to one's own. After all, none knows the body more intimately than its owner, potentialities and limitations alike. Mine, I perceived an exact precision. The act of artistic creation using media with which one is so innately unfamiliar only serves to fill the world with pointless mediocrities, don't you think? Truly, Maestro. So, never dismiss the hours dedicated to art squandered, Faust. Your art has subsumed even parts of your cerebral matter. Time will only perfect it. Your choice of subject matter, so very experimental and philosophical I might add, interests me in particular. I'm curious to see what inspiration the project might offer once it's completed. Thank you. Child's protege gave him a light nod of appreciation, but soon lifted her eyes to inquire, her voice curious. If I may be so bold, Maestro, could you tell me the reason why you have not removed your other eye in your hair? I seek perspective, and explore different avenues in this existential meditation. Aha, well asked. Begin, this isn't my hair, it's a sort of prosthesis, painstakingly woven with organic fibers. Perhaps one day I should teach you this technique as well. Indeed, its intricacies pale a breast, blood flow vessels. Perhaps one day I shall teach you this technique as well. Indeed, its intricacies pale abreast blood vessels or tendons, but the imitation of hair can be an illuminating learning process to learn how color composition creates detail and how lines can come together to form a sense of depth. As for this eye, yes, I would be remiss to abandon such an indispensable window upon which inspirations are reflected. However, I must be considerate of the gracious host of audience who, from just behind my eye, appreciate my life and artistic endeavors within. Audience, do you mean to say that your eye is a prosthesis connected elsewhere? Not quite, though it is an inheritance. It is also a precious jade that I alone must safeguard. In this timeline, does he not know? Well, he knows that there's someone on the other side. But does he... Well, he's saying not quite. Not quite that there's someone connected to the other side. I thought it was a prosthesis. Okay. There once was a time when I thought it was but a tool to quell their boredom, something to let them see the world outside. But once I studied it myself, once I explored its intricacies, I must say I was positively flabbergasted. It even helped me understand that there was something Gramps and Grannies simply could not let go. Yes, what a fascinating creation it is. And that is why I did not integrate it into Tibia, so that it may fulfill the worth inherited in its existence. I see. Has my answer been helpful enough? Oh yes, it was but a question born out of contemplation of the concept of connection. Protégé's curiosity was yet to be satisfied or sated, but the child simply nodded in acceptance. Acceptance that his protégé had already matured, paving her path that diverged from his own. She merely needed a question to confirm the case of others, no more. Very well then. Let us call it a day, said the child, noticing a flickering light by his wrist. Do we have guests? Yes, we do. The corridor has seen quite a lot of uninvited guests as of late. Uninvited guests? Visitors with intentions other than to appreciate my gallery. Some of them discourteous enough to vandalize my installations or, in more severely troublesome cases, attack me. Could you will me so I can assist with trouble of such nature? That won't be necessary. All outcomes are in unpredictable flux until they are experienced firsthand, no? These visitors are the civil kind. It would only be right that I return their kindness by playing the curator to this gallery of mine. With a recent addition, it would indeed be quite the timely visit for them. I must admit, I am also motivated by a curiosity to find out whether the newfound intent during my tenure here has been properly communicated. The child gave a faint smile, then began descending the spiral staircase alongside the protégé. It was, indeed, no false alarm. A squad of people all dressed in bright blue gear. Ah, yeah, Debbie Corp. Was wandering through the gallery of art installations. That was quite spacious hall. They were threading their way between the sculptures with extra caution. Oh, whoops. Has this location ever been recorded before? By the looks of it, we've just walked into one of the rings galleries. No, I think we might have stepped wrong somewhere along the way. This might be the first time this location's been observed. And from the tense anxiety tinting their voices as they talked to each other, it was clear that they had stumbled in here by accident. Hey, who knows? Might be one of those places where no one survived to deliver the report. Greetings. Ah! There's been a recent influx of guests in the same uniform as yours. Could it be that you are their colleagues? If only you had made a group reservation ahead of your visit. I would have prepared a more structured curation for our visitors. I don't suppose you were terribly interested in that? Great. I suppose he's the one who caused all those no-returnee expeditions. Prepare to engage. No? It seems today's guests are quite impatient. The strangers in blue all raised their weapons and braced for a fight, but the child returned their hostility with a graceful, amicable bow. Allow me to introduce myself first. I am Hong Lu, maestro, and the proud owner of this gallery. Private gallery, I might add. We rarely receive guests who lack even the frailest connection to this establishment, yet alone an invitation or a reservation. Still, I will always view the expanding accessibility of art to the public as a positive development, regardless of how it occurs. Art? What? Is that what they call these bone chunks? Let's not provoke him. I think we walked into a corporist gallery of the ring. Don't want to find out how he'll react to negative reviews of his work. No. This is most wonderful. That a complete layperson could possess the knowledge of the art movement I spearhead. So, we're good? It is true that many without the predilection toward gore find it difficult to appreciate the aesthetic philosophy of corporist art. As much as I desire to invite many to delve headfirst into the artistic discipline, I mourn the reality that there are restricting hurdles to prevent understanding. That is why I have sought out a new avenue of contemplation, the day I became a maestro. Knowingly or not, every corner, every side, every surface of your lives is touched by movements of art. I could weave and coalesce those slightest brushes into a singular, all-encompassing masterpiece, something that can move the hearts of all fellow men. Yes, then I could be said to have created the true magnum opus of the century. And that was the child's honest, genuine belief, as others placed the blame onto him for the movement's struggles, for the absence of its anchor. He slowly faded away from the mainstream and became a has-been so far removed from its prime. But even after he arrived at the House of Spiders, he never once stopped creating his art for that singular purpose. Art that could be understood and appreciated by every resident of the city, even those without the slightest connection to the discipline, a thread that makes kindred souls out of all humanity. And the end of that lone red thread was looped at the tip of his fingers, the culmination of his endeavor. This thread is twined threefold from the tendons of the right heel cord, taken from a certain material that flickered my light of inspiration. Subject matter, deconstruction, and reinvention. Let's follow the thread, shall we? Please do join me as each artwork of my oeuvre tells its tale, and slowly familiarize yourselves with it. 854 signals found. Wait, is this... They're all organic tissue? The readings are coming from... They're above us. No, under us? Wait, no, behind the curtains. Inside the pillars, they're everywhere. And now, we together witness the moment of convergence. Simon pulsing through his machine body, the child gently tugs on the thread. And the two lost souls, unwitting and unwilling participants to this performance, watch helplessly as a red and pale something emerges from every surface around them with a discomforting din. The child's research, his studies, honed and perfected over many years in the House of Spiders. This is disgusting. Who in their right mind would call this art? Oh, please, don't give up so quickly. May have culminated in yet another failure. Now, the show begins, but it may be that failures and the like no longer matter to the child. For he is but a madman, a maestro who has long since forgotten his once desperate desire to be understood, be acknowledged. The lack of acknowledgement from the audience only signified the dullness of their sensibilities, after all. He had faith that one day someone will arrive with due recognition. Title, Corpus Theater. Do enjoy. And then he morphed on them. He morbed on them, and then he fucking exploded their bodies, I guess. Not very hard to tell what happened to him. Wow, that used a lot of tickets. That used basically all of my tickets. Wow. That was expensive as fuck, dude. Oh my god. Fuck me. I want a ring team. Hold on. Gotta make sure I have a ring team set up. He was using the bleed rupture. I'm gonna switch to... Oh no, I don't have Rian-song upgraded. This is only gonna take like a couple minutes max. Nostalgia? Oh, she's only level 48. Oh. Well, I can always skip. Ooh. I guess middle? She's Rupture, isn't she? Rupture Poise, yeah. I'm assuming Ryoshu's gonna be a forced inclusion. So I'll work off of that. Assumption. You're so... You. What do I put on you? Because all of these are kind of just bad options. Until I can get the middle Heathcliff. Until I can get Ricardo Cliff. So I guess Pequod Harpooner is going to be the one I use for him on that slot. Hexnail, Pursue, no, Hexnail, Sigwin, Rhyme Shake? Hexnail. Harmony, Bleed Burn, okay. I could up-tie it. That's tempting. Holiday! Ahoy! Hi. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing a little bit of quick team building and then I'll actually get to continuing the story. Ah, shit, she's only 43. Ah, fuck. Well, I could do Ujat. You can't use Gregor, but I'm still gonna equip him. Or Unbrilliant. He's alls. So, Unbrilliant would probably be best. I never equipped her. Oh no. Tap. Kapore? Can I even feel this? Yes. Yes, I can. Or I can do Roseate Desire. Actually, like that for the boss more, I think. Faust isn't ready. Can I? Oh, I need more encapsulating. Oh. Manager, I'm so full of encapsulating. Let's do... Oh, I can't do that many. 5. I'll do 5.
시연 준비가
skip through
완벽하지 않았다는 건 불만스럽지만
45. That should be enough.
만족하신 관객이 하나라도 있었으니 다행이라고
Oh, and I
해야겠네요.
leveled up?
좀 더 새로운 시도를 추구해 보는 것도 좋겠죠. 마침 신선한 재료가 이만큼이나 늘었으니
I'm back at 26. Okay. I ain't complaining. He's the cliff. Sorry, I'm just quickly looking at this. Wait a minute. I can pull. Let's see. Do I get him? Do I get the boy? I got the boy, didn't I?
아, 찌뿌둥하구만. 뭐야, 아파? 그러니까 원한 살짓 하지 말라니까.
Ain't no fucking way. Like... Shit. Well, hold up. I'm gonna hit the daily limit. I need more modules. Is it 60 of each to get...
나쁘지는 않았구려. 붓을 몇 번 더 놀릴
This is
기회만
costing me
있었어도
so much.
좋았을 것 같지만.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna quickly go through his tie story, I guess, so I can use him. I was intending to just start with the fucking story, but I guess the game had other plans. Fuck it. I'll throw away 50 rodeo shards. Let's go.
기억은 중요하지. 그러니까 죽으면서 새겨라.
I guess I'm gonna
나는
narrate his
중지의
story
작은
too.
형님, 히스클리프. 지금부터 니놈들의 전부
Thought you could get away that easy, huh? I'll bring the suffering that was promised to you when you cast me into the world of the bristly. Bringing punishment to the thief who stole the child's hair salon coupons was a long and arduous journey. While the child wanted was simply revenge, it could have been more efficient to rely on the element of surprise to capture and mete out the deserved consequences. But that simply would not do. Uncool solutions were not an option for the child. Heart-pumping electronics dance music, fully slicked back hair, and flashy sunglasses still worn and even in the dark of night. These were the hallmarks of a badass and cool entrance befitting a big brother of the middle, thought the child. Oi, half pint. You the one who nicked my coupons? Oh, what the hell? I'd heard you might still be in pursuit, but you came all the way here for that? You damn stalker? Stalker? But you seem to be under some grave misconception, cause going after a thief ain't the same thing as stalking someone. It's terminal audacity to think that, ain't it? Well, what else am I supposed to call an obsessed freak who chased me all the way across the city from U-Corp Great Lake? Guess to a point, man. Failure to recognize your own crimes, blatant lack of apology, or any sign of remorse for stealing the victim's deserved lusciousness. Insistence on contentious behavior. Looks like you're getting another line in the book. Huh? Oh, who added this already? This individual's violation was logged for later punishment in accordance with Title 6, Section 2, Rule A. Yeah? Yes, because the individual's behavior met the specific conditions required to invoke the aforementioned article. But this book's... never mind. You did good, lad. Alright, let's get this back on track. The point is you've just brought yourself another line in the book. All this over a lousy coupon to a hair salon, you crazy bastard. Told you I'll pay you back for it, didn't I? Time and time again I asked if we could make a deal and you refused to listen every damn time. A lousy hair coupon. Really? After narking me, insulting me by assuming this grudge could be swept under the rug with bribery? A lousy hair coupon? Searching for sections relevant to narking. No, forget it. I think I can forgive that minor slight as long as he returns a little something. That hair coupon you nicked from me. Hand it over. get your noggin ready, because this ain't out of bounds. Wait, did I skip a line? No. Because this ain't just about the coupon anymore. It's about the shame of having to show myself under the sun day. Under the sun, day after day with a hairdo that has slid so far into the world of the bristly. It's about the desperation of wanting to hide under a cap, yet having to parade around my humiliation. Because wearing a cap would have sapped even more vitality from my hair. All of that has coalesced into the simmering wrath as I journey to the east, and I haven't even begun my pilgrimage of loyalty to earn the right to become a great brother. The only thing that'll put this righteous anger to sleep is to become luscious. That's right, you daft bastard. That hair coupon you stole from me is now lusciousness incarnate. Now what I'm saying is that I'm generous enough to turn a blind eye to your minor insults as long as you return an object of such significance back to my hands. So quit stalling and cough it up. Huh? And what I said? I can't even if I wanted to? What then? What if I said I can't even if I wanted to? What then? Art thou refusing to return what belongeth to the rightful owner? No, as much as it irks me to admit it, that wasn't a refusal. Your hair, it's become luscious. The little sibling's eyes instantly darted toward the coupon's thief hair at the child's comment. The hair looked as though it would flow and wrap gently around the hand when one combs through it with their fingers. Frankly, the subtle use of hairstyling weren't immediately apparent, but borrowing the child's vocabulary. The thief's hair must have become luscious. And the fact that such an elevated state was attained not by the child, but by the thief meant... You little shit! Just stealing Big Bro's care coupons wasn't enough, huh? You just had to use it too, huh? Of course I did. What do you think I stole in the first place? I mean, just think about it in my shoes. There's really no point in getting a single line forgiven when I'm already neck deep in your book of vengeance. Get what I'm saying? And hey, thought I might as well go enjoy a nice visit to the private hair salon when I got the chance, since you're gonna come after me for the rest of my life anyway. Salon du Moilu? Was it? Sure lives up to the name, huh? He must be mad. Is it wisdom? Or foolishness? The thief's name was indeed attached to a countless number of vengeances in the book, which included stealing from the child's safe, fleeing from the Middle's vengeance, and everything that happened between then and now. Like you said, getting a single vengeance forgiven wouldn't make a nick of difference anyway. Because whichever excuse he had to give, it would end in his execution. He sure is awfully mouthy for a bloke that pop his clogs. You lads reckon he's got life insurance or something? A single execution may not be a sufficient counterweight that negates the grudge. However, there exists precedence for a crime not entirely dissimilar to the one currently being addressed, which a subject whose life was insured was killed over a dozen times to be rendered into a state of post-resuscitation mental degradation and punch drunkenness prior to complete and total extermination. Jesus. Yet the villain doth persist in uttering such vile insults to a big brother. In moments such as this, methinks justice ought to be delivered post-haste. Going off of right brother's advice, either way is decent enough. What's your take, Sinclair? How about tenderizing him half dead first? You'll have an easier time deciding what to do with him once he's too busy swallowing his teeth to talk back. I like the sound of that. Oh, that's... Perhaps the child was pleased with the suggestion, because he produced an adorably tiny sticker from the inside of his coat and pressed it neatly onto his little brother's book. Thank you, Big Bro. Right, let's crack on with it. Let's give him a proper thrashing before thinking about what comes next. You seriously think life insurance is what I'm planning to fall back on? You don't actually believe I spotted you chasing me across half the city and just didn't bother setting anything up, do you? That sound... Something's closing in. So, what time is it? It's currently 3:13 in the morning. The night in the back streets has begun. Tremors spread through the ground, drawing closer with every passing second. It was the sound of the sweepers flooding through the roads. For back streets residents, a mumble on the road was familiar as the rumble of one's own breath. Still, there was something off about this whole situation. The entrance through which the child and his little siblings chased their mark looked pastely put together. The thief was already sprinting towards another room. It didn't take long for the child to piece things together. His voice sharply cut through the air as soon as he realized what exactly the thief had in store. Grab that bastard! Now! Bollocks, I knew something about the entrance looked makeshift. Too slow! Have fun getting swept away, dumbasses. You won't even have a bloodstain behind once they're done with you. Bye. The wretched villain hath fled into an adjacent room. Our righteous fury shall smite through the door and... Nah, this ain't some hideout. That's a proper residential area. That cheeky half-pint used his noggin, didn't he? Looks like we're gonna have to hold out against the sweeper waves, big bro. Don't you worry your little head now, lad. Even if we get swept away by the waves, the middle will settle that score proper. Nobody's away from the vengeance. The night in the Bastries passed, as it always does. The thief stepped out from his building, bold and smug. He congratulated himself for his well-thought-out plan that finally shook the persistent stalker. No one can survive the tides of sweepers that consume everything and everyone in their path, he believed. Not even the child. However, he seemed to have underestimated the child's tenacity, the unyielding doggedness of the syndicate that calls itself the Middle. You struck a freak. How are you still alive? That's it then. All that prep and you're already done? Shit. Damn it. Look, don't kill me just yet. There's something you should know. What? That you weren't actually the one who nicked the coupon? Exactly. I'm not that thing. Wait, you already knew? Of course I did. That bloke in the security footage wasn't anywhere near as tiny as you have, Pint. Gives it away, didn't it? I've been giving it a think, yeah? Whether I ought to crack your skull open like an egg or just keep killing you over and over till this burning anger is spent and satisfied. Wait, I'll talk. I'll tell you everything, so please, it ain't my business finding out what buddy ties you got to that real thief now. The lads will dig him up soon enough. And you not being the thief makes no difference either. You've already gone and earned yourself a fresh grudge with that new little trick you pulled. Truth be told, I'm sick with this whole mess giving me a headache. Got a pilgrimage of loyalty coming up, yeah? Proper nightmare, that labor. I'd rather clear out that all the useless rubbish clutter in my path before I decide myself. Before I dedicate myself to it. I can help you. Let me ditch that fucking thief and work for you instead. That does it. You flapping your lying gob, basking in that lusciousness like you're the only one who earned it. That's about enough to get you and every last saw tied to you. Immediate, complete, and total extermination. I may have gone a little overboard in spending encaphalin. Shit. I need more. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. New skill, complete and total extermination. Why did they lock this behind his uptype 4? I was wondering when it would pop up. Okay. Oh wait, he's bleed tremor. Burn, bleed tremor. So what's the condition to use it? 15 plus vengeance tattoo. Applying the following effect. Replace a base skill with complete and total extermination. Prioritize the skill on the leftmost slot's bottom row on the dashboard. Replace skill becomes inaccessible due to being replaced by a different skill. Activate the above effect again. Change the battle music until turn end, excluding certain encounters. Right, so bro literally just takes the aux cord for himself whenever you activate this. Combat start, and they turn this unit substituted in or return to the field. Use My Hair coupons on a random target. Using his skill 3 if he subs out? No way. Burn, bleed, and tremor. I think this is like one of the first IDs that naturally has 3 different status effects. Six plus sum of envy absolute resonance. Use My Hair coupon skill as counter. Okay. Activates 2 times. Combat start, heal enemy resonance plus 3 SP for 3 of the middle faction allies that have the lowest SP. Is this clashable? This is not clashable. Gain 25% of missing HP and shield? Oh. Well, I'm glad he has that. Considering I think only Dawn gets shield on hers. No, she doesn't even get shield. Is it Ishmael I'm thinking of? Yeah, no, it's Ishmael I'm thinking of. I think Sinclair, maybe? 30% of missing HP is shield. You know what? I'm not disappointed. Wait, no, I need rank point list. Not Ujat. I would love if I could... if I could run her for the SP altering effects. Sorry, I'm just doing a little bit of maintenance. Alright. I think I have a team I'm comfortable with using. This should maximize the amount of event currency I earn. What? I might want faint aroma just for the SP effect. Because I'm not really that concerned about having more bleed. This is a middle team and a ring team. We got 2 fingers. Ooh, I could make it a little bit more of a joke. And have... Wait, who do I want to run first, though? So it seems pertinent to have this deploy order.
녹슨 총에 날카롭지 않은 화살초.
And then
제가
H사와 8
나를 점 찍었다.
these?
격에 맞는 조언도 함께 준비하도록.
Or I put Otis on the field. Otis. I put Otis on the field.
녹슨 총의 날카롭. 제가
H사와 89의 안내는
Right?
제게 맡기시죠.
I'm confident with that.
채워지지 않을
I'm confident
공허를
with that.
남겨주지.
Oh, fuck. The heck? They swiped everything that wasn't nailed down, huh? Also, midriff? Based? Women with scars? Based? The heck? They swiped everything that wasn't nailed down, huh? Fret not, I espy fret not, I espy thither that half of thy worldly possessions, articulated fixer figurines, video game cartridges. I'm talking about anything. Oh, I'm not talking about my toy box, guy. I had a hell of many of them anyway. My TV's gone, the couch too. As Kira said, only a conspicuous empty space was left where the television and family couch set used to be. Oh, those? LCE researchers hauled them away. From the sound of it, they're going to set them up in their staff lounge. As for the leather and the ornaments, said they'll be sealing them off. Oh, selling them off. Yeah? Otis seemed to notice something that the moment she caught Kira's wistful look, the corners of her lips curled into a faint smile as she spoke with feigned nonchalance. Who knows? With sufficient cooperation, perhaps they'd become more receptive to the idea of returning those items. Assuming much? Never said I wanted them back. Anyway, I'll tell you all about it, what I know, so come this way if you want in. These two doors here were made from paper and wood. They connect to S-Corp. And that one were reinforced with steel. That one leads to V-Corp back streets, where... Just don't explain what V-Corp does, please. Just tease us with an explanation of V-Corp. And don't elaborate on what the paper and wood door does that leads to S-Corp. Like, just completely glaze over that. Having lived here and made frequent use of the doors herself, Kira was clearly the right person for the job of identifying where each door Wayfarer Company had asked us to explore led. Directed by Kira and accompanied by Alan, we checked the doors one by one. Good work. All data seems to match. Thank you for your cooperation. Until there was just one back door left to open. I know this isn't anything new, but I've got to say, these back doors are just too bloody convenient. Them portals, too. It ain't doing anything shady like the warp trains either, is it? Yours is as simple as turning the knob and entering. Seems to me you'll outpace your business rival in no time. I'm a bit hard-pressed to agree with the too convenient sentiment when it comes to using backdoors and portals, but since your intent was to claim Wayfarer's superiority over the current W Corp, I'll take that as a compliment. Did I say something wrong? Every technology comes with a cost, Heathcliff. Aptly said. Well, this has been a workday relatively free of casualties thanks to the... Relatively free? Thanks to the quality information you've provided. Do you understand that Wayfarer Company's primary service includes pathfinding, path security, and path maintenance? Each of those services is fraught with life-threatening dangers for our employees. Some never return after embarking on a pathfinding journey. Some are killed while battling monstrous entities whose natures haven't been confirmed yet, that appear in the liminal states between paths. That gives me an idea, honestly. Like, you could probably make Minecraft mods with this same general, like, premise. It's almost rubbing up against the backdoors idea. Like, I get the idea of like, the corridors are intended to be kind of like back doors. Or back rooms, excuse me. Not back doors. Back rooms. So, like, the... Oh, sorry, I just got distracted looking at something. There we go. So, Wayfarer Company is definitely like kind of like a backrooms exploration company, more or less. And the House of Spiders is kind of meant to replicate that in a way. So I see that being applied to something that's more like open world, almost like you could make a freaking Minecraft mod out of it. I know there are a lot of people who make Minecraft mods that revolve around Limbus Company, Lobotomy Corporation, even Roblox. Like, Roblox is a big one. So they could incorporate twining threads into that with the exploration of what the corridors are, considering most of the people who, you know, maybe make those mods haven't actually read Leviathan. These kids can't read. It also costs a pretty penny to keep this secured path, well, secure. I'd say our operating cost is on the rather steep side, especially considering what we are also trying to prevent our rivals from taking the corner of the market. Thinking back, I don't think I've ever seen Alan enter a door to a new location with his helmet off. Must be one of his precautions, just in case. Maybe his dry smile and unsettling lack of reaction to anything are hints that he's simply seen too much to be fazed by most horrors. Still, our work's gotten considerably easier for this job thanks to the help from everyone here. Honestly, this partnership is working much better than I'd expected. Very well then, let's take a look at the last door. Ah, it's the door Papa used to walk through all the time. Walked here onto the door, and the second I crossed over the threshold, a breeze carrying an oddly familiar, salty smell tickled the tip of my one of my clock hands. This one connects somewhere in the general Great Lake area, it seems. Welcome to U-Corp's giant Stingray port ship. Stingray, huh? Where does that ring a bell? Hang on a minute. It's that place, isn't it? That port ship that has Salon du Moilu, the private hair salon. Heathcliff chimed in with a shudder as though the sheer weight behind his words terrified him. Oh no. Ooh, doth it signify then that we shall finally be made audience to young Heathcliff and his hairdo most luscious? Ah. Quit it with that luscious nonsense, lass. Why encourage me now when you were so cavalier about blasting my villainous arse back at the lake? Indeed. Alas, 'tis true that punishment wrought upon our merry band hath severely outweighed the crime. Wouldst thou not agree, young Heathcliff, that to put the coupons to use would remedy thy pain a smidge? Ah, bugger it. I ain't even got anyone to spruce up for anymore. Sweet, then can I use them? You were regulars at the Moilu place, Papa and me. Papa would ask the middle fam for a favor and he'd bring loads of coupons back home. They give away a hair coupon every 10 visits, you see, so what am I even yapping about all excited? Kira, who had seemed ready to launch into a cheerful rant, came to an abrupt pause like a bike tripping over a ledge. Her face fell as she lowered her gaze and scuffed a pebble away. Looking back, I guess Papa did hella care for me, so why... But it's also true these guys went out of their way to get me out of the... even though they didn't know me so well. Ugh, why is it gotta be so complicated? Did I just give you that unesthetic BC bowl cut? Bro, listen, like I said, that's not how you shorten these things. For some reason, Ryoshu seemed almost gleeful to hear Kira correcting her acronym. It was reminiscent of that self-satisfied look she'd get after confusing us with these acronyms, especially during the early days of our bus journey. Thinking back, ever since Sinclair's translations became reliable enough, the sitters had less reason to voice their frustrations with Ryoshu's acronyms, which in turn gave her fewer causes to snicker about. Not sure why, but something tells me that she might be making her acronyms ridiculously incomprehensible on purpose. Conjecture is correct, executive manager. She has one tasteless sense of humor. From what I recall, the toys and games he was into were pretty retro. Must have been annoying to play along. At first, but the more I played along, the more I got into it. Still corny and juvenile as shit, though. I know aught of that conflict within thee. Trifling and apocryphal they may be, yet we are all compelled to peer hindwards at the interests of the family. Yeah, I wanted to know what Papa was into, to really get what he was talking about. Besides, I needed to know these things if I wanted to chat him up and talk about a mutual subject, so... You tell me about you all the time, Yoshihide. Gotcha. Not a day went by without him saying stuff like, Yoshihide learned this in 2 days, or, yo, this was Yoshihide's fear, you know? Too bad I wasn't here to tell you that his words weren't worth shit. I was thought of him in the same way as you do now. Good man, at least among the Nerf's fathers, caring enough to bring me gifts. But one day I realized that he'd never understand the things I really cared about, even if his life had depended on it. One day, thou sayest. Right hell, was there aught that had changed thy perception of that man? That, I don't remember when or why. Just that it happened. And wait, I might know this. Was it something that happened at school? Papa told me that things started getting awkward between you and him ever since you quit school. Bullshit, I've never been to a school. Never even thought about wanting to go to school. No, Ryoshu, you definitely did. Nice must have been talking out of his ass again. Huh? No way, bro. I even saw a clip of it. What? Papa showed me that video when he was teaching me how to use these doors. I even saw baby you going, I'm off to school, Dad, in that video, so I'm pretty dang sure. But I don't... As Kira went on, Ryoshu's confidence from her initial retort seemed to slip away. I couldn't blame her. So much of her memory had been mutilated. Ryoshu didn't sound like she was denying it out of hand, though. She seemed to mean it when she said she'd never been to school and had never even wanted to. I want to glimpse the fragment of memory that made her say that. The moment I willed it, a scene from her past suddenly flashed across my eyes. Very well, Yoshihide. I will register you in an institution that is not entirely dissimilar from school. There is an blank, a subsidiary of the Ring. Academy. Sure it was a school, not like an art academy or something like that? Perchance it be an academy, not a school? Wait, that kind of makes more sense. Yeah, it must have been an academy, not a school. Academy of Art. Ryoshu muttered a few words as they were pieces of a puzzle she was assembling. Then, after a brief moment, she turned toward me with an astounding scoff and a look of mild irritation. Clock? You deserve a smack. And then lightly smacked me upside the head with her scabbard. What the fuck was that sound I made? What was that for? This memory sucks, Clock. I would have been just fine without it. But at least I got to remember the incident that changed my perspective on Matthias. Man, how do I go to a school? Excuse me. School, Yoshihide? Well, I don't see why you would wish, let alone need, to go to such an institution when we nurse fathers are here to provide you with all the education you require. You will later find our unique style of homeschooling to have been much more enlightening than trudging through any of the Nest formulaic educational systems. But Dad, I saw him even in a picture book. And I don't have any friends here. Oh, reading is pointless. But it is true that there are qualities that can be learned only through group erudition that engenders competition. Very well, Yoshihide. I will register you in an institution that is not entirely dissimilar from school. Really? I intend to send Yoshihide to an academy as part of my educational curriculum. There is an Academy of Art, a subsidiary of the Ring. Companionship with other talented children of approximately her age will nourish the spirit of inspiration that will guide Yoshihide's growth. The prescript approves, but Callisto, I tell you now that you might be making a mistake. And how are you so certain of that? Oh, it's Callisto, not Calypso. I was thinking back to the name they had, and I confused it with Calypso, relating it to the Odyssey. We may yet see a Calypso. Do elaborate if you can, hand puppet of the prescripts by whom every aspect of existence is articulated. What do you even know of choice? What is right or wrong? And off they went. Perhaps a little more situational awareness would have prevented what is to come. Callisto had found me a rather decent academy. The artworks that used to scare me when I was alone weren't so bad when I was with the other kids. No, that's not quite it. It'd be more accurate to say that I started to understand people's perspective on beauty. Of course I would, when all that we ever did was nod along to the lectures and spout purple prose, all the while making pin cushions out of people's bodies like it was nothing. Our lesson today will focus on corporist techniques. Now, take a good look at the diagram here, but then the mannequins before you. Weed the blood vessels in the same pattern as the diagram, and I don't know why we're even learning about corporist stuff in this day and age. Right? I don't get what the point of this slog is. Tying and shaping blood vessels to make a color that a drop of ink can do better. I read that in a book. I'm more excited to learn about Cubist technique than this crap. Honestly, why is this washed up movement even a part of the curriculum? It's just so boring, shallow gore stuff. No, it's gory, but it's boring and shallow only because you guys are bad at it. What? Aw, you mad because your daddy's a lame corporist? Oh, is he? No wonder here stuff is just as... Ow! I was taught that people who say bad things about my family deserve to get their butt kicked. Them bad-mouthing Callisto wasn't actually what set me off. I didn't have any special reverence or attachment to family like Matthias did either. It's just what I was taught to dislike, that's all. Just one of those tantrums kids of that age have. Kids will be kids and all that. I'm home, Dad. Hey, buddy, you're home early. Oh man, must have been playing rough today, huh? You got dust all over. Got into a fight. A fight? Yeah, they kept saying dumb things about class stuff, so I smacked them. What about you? Excuse me. What about you? They didn't hit you anywhere, did they, buddy? On my cheek, but it's okay because I punched them this many more times. Did I do good? That's my girl. Dad? Where are you going? Oh, just got some business to take care of. Why don't you sit tight and work on a coloring book? That'll be home before you know it. Okay. Is it pro business? No, it's family business. Shut the fuck up. I ain't seen what's so bad about taking care of your own. Them snotty sons don't learn respect unless you beat it into them. Huh. Only you'd been a simple-minded fool like you. Then the story would have ended right there with the pat on my head. What? Papa, the middle doesn't stop there. Never does. You hurt a member of the family, that automatically gets you written up in the book. Yeah, and he did what he did in the end. Huh? There you are. Gee, oh, wow, yeah, I didn't think about it. He used his sword and he cut through the fucking wall. God damn, he used a relic against this poor-ass teacher. Dude had no chance. There you are, Yoshihide. Is class starting already? My diligent little girl. Wonder who she takes after. Dad? I know. I said I'll be right back before you know it, but I got lost trying to find my way through the ring bastard's tricky mazes. You know how they are. Oh yeah, and there are so many sniveling brats here. Well, as for the crimes, they slapped my buddy's face hard enough to leave a mark. That's not for you. As for the instructors, well... Wait, he cut off a kid's arm? What the fuck, Matthias? As for the instructors, well, anyone would agree that they did one sorry job of keeping these tanks under control. In that case, pursuant to Title II, Section 52 of the book, execution by beheading, they clearly don't got much use for what sits on their soldiers. Shoulders, huh? How do you like it, buddy? Papa's the best, ain't he? How dare he? Such senseless, barbaric violence. Uncultured, uncivilized animal. Do not be discouraged, dearest Yoshihide. I've eyed out yet another academy worthy of your talents. It's much more significant and prestigious institution this time. I assure you, even an intemperate berserker like Matthias won't dare force his way into such a place as he did with the previous academy. Don't wanna... Yoshihide, I don't want to go to the academy. I don't want to go. I don't need friends anyway. For all his posturing, nothing that was ever important to me held any significance to Matthias. He took a lot away from me just to feel good about himself. So I hoped he, more than anyone, would never find out about the things I held dear, because I was afraid he would take them away from me like he did with the others. But he always catch on faster than he had any right to. Every contract that took me away from the House of Spiders made me tremble in anxiety. Because I was worried about... I don't remember what, but I do know that I could never stop thinking about my room. So whatever occupied my room, or whatever occupied the room in my absence, must have been the most precious thing to me in the world. The scabbard, which had been stirring lightly as Ryoshu recounted her past, soon began to rattle audibly. It's doing that thing again. Ryoshu patted the scabbard with a gentle, reassuring hand. The scabbard that once was Araya, memory without attachment, appeared to me almost as though she was pacifying a crying child. Seeing that gesture, Heathcliff briefly cast a sullen yet faintly expectant gaze between Ryoshu's scabbard and my device. He must be thinking back to his last conversation with Catherine. But Catherine's existence, unlike Araya's, was erased by the golden bow itself. I doubt this device could do anything for Heathcliff at this point. Wait, the device? From everything we know, the ring nurse father seems to have been the least awful parental figure in your childhood. Huh, yeah. Didn't know that Robo-Unk was such a radical guy. He sent you to academy like you wanted and even got angry on your behalf? Oh, hazy memories. Almost forgot to mention. A few days after that, Callisto left a snowman by my pillow as a gift. It was made of heads. Heads? Yes, decapitated heads from the incident at the academy. Threaded together into a sculpture. What the fuck? Thinking back, it was one sorry excuse for an art. He's sorely mistaken if he thought some low-effort bullshit like that could make me feel better. Ryoshu, I think you're dodging around the fact that it was made out of human heads. I could have spared us the details last. Well, with that covered, do you guys want to head back? Dewa, shipashimashita. Hang on. Was, gonna get that luscious treatment before heading back? Shut it, you. That ain't it. Look, there's these blokes walking out of the salon. Why is the ring here? Valvis, ain't they? They found us. Would not be odd to find a field branch of the ring's art movement in different districts of the city, especially that of the Valvis scale. However, various evidence, such as the masks and the fact that our group has immediately drawn their attention, suggests they are in the same pack as the one making regular incursions to the House of Spiders. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, this is part of, Oh, I can't think of it. This is part of Heathcliff, Heathcardo. The new Heathcliff ID that I just got. That's part of, one of his lines. There's a ring studio right next to the... Oh my god, excuse me. Right next to the hair salon. That's why they're there. This is LCP, speaking to team leader Alan, requesting immediate commencement of lockdown sequence. Copy that. Then why don't we... Holy shit, guys, stop. Bloody hell, what? Did you know where you are? You're smack dab in the middle of protected turf. Cause a scene and bros and sisters in the middle will be here any second. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a problem. We've already drawn the rings under wanted attention. We certainly don't want the middle coming after us to the House of Spiders too. Sounds like you got a GI. Talk. Ever played whack-a-mole? Like, Why give ourselves a countdown? Just head back to the door now and beat up whoever thinks it's a great idea to walk into the door. That is a good idea. She puts forth a sound strategy, Executive Manager. As long as there's no high-ranking officer among them, it would be to our benefit. Well then, let's do as Kira says. Huh? That was quick. Alan blinked, shooting us a puzzled look as our entire squad came pouring through the door long before he finished the lockdown sequence. Due to newly emergent complications past the door, we have concluded that this location is the optimal point to intercept and engage the infiltrators from the ring. This location, you say? Oh, wait. The door leads to a zone under a syndicate or a wing's protection, doesn't it? Better already have a fight here, then. Yeah, fair point. Happy to work with someone quick on the uptake. It wasn't long before the five of us began rushing in through the open door. I didn't want to summon them here while they're relaxing, but, well, it can't be helped. And I summoned them sinners back to work. Back to work, Weiji! Oh, yes, I finally get to use her! What? What is this aura? What the heck? Max count unique charge? Oh wait, she's got unique charge. What the heck? I didn't read. I didn't know she had unique charge. Maybe she'd be good in a charge team that doesn't use rupture. That doesn't exist. I know, but... Maybe if it does exist, it could be good. You really just had to roll your skill 1 twice, didn't you? You fucking...
파고들 시간이다. 잔무에.
Oh, wait, we get the real Kira, too. Sweet. So we get both? Oh, wait, no, I'm not using both middle. Wait, her skill 3 can roll 18? Maybe it's useful to run her now. Jesus. Her voice lines are suppressed. Wait, she's already... How did she... This is turn 1. What are the conditions for... The skill dealt HP or shield damage gain +5 corpus ingredient count. The target is killed, gain +3 additional corpus ingredient count. Gain 1 corpus ingredient every time this unit consumes 10 cumulatively ingredient corpus. The above effect brings this unit corpus ingredient potency to 2 or higher. Gain artwork fascia. Interacts the same way as normal charge does to effects that raise or reduce charge potency and count. Base attack skills and combo counter skills count as skills that gain charge count. Oh. Okay. Upon entering the counter for the first time, gain Iron Maiden. Turn end if this unit has artwork fascia. This unit loses Iron Maiden, gains the self-unbound flow state. Once per encounter, when staggered, recover from stagger. Excluding 4 staggers. Oh, and this is her combat passive. Double the amount of speed, clash power, and damage buff gained from somatic frisson. Inspiring melody. Frisson inspiring melody. Somatic frisson inspiring melody. On hit, if the attack skill inflicted a negative effect, heal 4 SP at attack end. This unit's SP is max. Gain 1 slash damage up next turn when this unit heals SP with this effect. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, does he already have tibia? No. No, he doesn't. Viewing the tableau. If the House of Spiders ring apprentice fastest on the field, gain 2 protection at the turn start. So you definitely want to use both of them at the same time. How does he get tibia? Potency to 2 or higher. Gain artwork tibia. Okay. Oh! No, it's saying his potency goes up when he consumes 10 cumulative corpus ingredient. I see. So he needs to actually use more, but he can't this turn. Unless he doesn't have... I didn't think about it. He's a charge unit. I should have equipped him with the charge ego.
아이씨, 짜증나게. 남았어도 이 정도쯤은.
태어난 곳은
This feels very, very high energy for what is a relatively simple fight.
작품 완성. 돌아가면 의견을 나누지.
He's a 12. You can just cause the music to completely drop out. At will.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Don't mind me, I'm just eating popcorn.
탕.
I really hope that's not being picked up on the mic. That would be very awkward.
시생멸법. 오래 필수록 가치는 떨어지는 법이지.
That should be... He's a 20, so he's gonna be... What is this effect? What is this aura? Why is this happening? This has happened with Faust too.
눈으로만 감상하시게.
Is it just showing that she has... She's got the capability to... Oh, I can use his big move. That's what it signifies. I see. Man, I wish Hongmu had more ego. Sang and painting and then visceral strokes. Ugh. She stroke on my...
일리 있는 의견.
She stroke on my visceral till I skill 3.
이제야 친해졌네요. 항상
Big sword.
일깨워 주시는군요.
They didn't get to use all the coins too, just because
그 소재
it killed them too quickly.
가져가네요.
살고자 하는 모든 것들과 함께 흙 속에 파묻혀라.
Oh, and she got 30 aroma too, so she just absolutely nuked a single man? Why is that there? Somatic Frisson. It's the same one? Yeah, Somatic Frisson Inspiring Melody. They both have it, but he's... Deal plus 30% damage for every excess attack weight beyond the number of actual targets in focused encounters. The part. That's what it said. Okay. I still don't understand what this aura is. I'll just do that because I can. Because I'm bored. Because it's for the girlies. Damn, Isung. You didn't roll your skill 2 at all. That's pretty disappointing.
혈관의 두께 나쁘지 않아요.
She did a backflip on it.
방심.
She didn't do her voice line. What? Wait. He's using Tivia's melody. Again?
약지에 감긴
오케이.
세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세 가지 작품을 뜻하죠.
Maybe bro is goated.
비록 지금 제 작품이
Maybe.
만인의 신금을 울리지는 못하더라도 여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을 선보이고 있는 것 같네요.
Me when I get you? Me when I fucking get you? Okay, and that about wraps up the middle's corridor. Thanks to you folks, we managed to cut the door count along the workload by 80%. I really appreciate everyone going the extra mile to check each and every door, too. It made my life a whole lot easier. It's all thanks to the manager's excellent strategization. Next up, the Thumbs Corridor. We actually found a lot of intel lying around there, so we just need you to check some of the doors in its basement. The basement of the Thumb? Intel? The manager expresses interest in the aforementioned intel. In the Thumbs corridor, we came across a bundle of papers detailing the comings and goings of the Thumbs members and the orders they were carrying. Whoever wrote the logs has been diligently keeping them updated. The last entry was written not so long ago. While the contents of the notes weren't all that interesting, they helped us get an idea of where each door in that corridor leads to. Valentina shitty scrap papers. She'd been keeping up with that useless shit this whole time? Ha! Useless shit? Remnants of her desperate search for a thread to cling to. You found one of her backup ticket hoards. I've marked any doors that need work done with a drone. There should be about 3 or 4 of them. While you guys do that, I've got some leftover work to take care of over here, so... I've been noticing this throughout our interactions. Whenever anything irrelevant to his work came up, Alan seemed to have a way of unhearing and maneuvering right past it as though he didn't even register what it was said. Calling our conversation with Chisara back at P-Corp, that deeply uncurious indifference might just be one of the essential personality traits to go on as a corporate employee in the city. Understood. We will explore the areas past the marked doors and return here. Well, okay. Thinking about it, Dante. Thinking about it. This man has been through so much. Just random bullshit. At the behest of Wayfarer Corp. I think he's been more than aptly given the, what I would say, reasonable assumption that he should not dig into anything. We watched this happen with K-Corp. When we watched a man get blamed for corporate espionage. When he did nothing. He was not at all related to the corporate espionage that occurred. Understood. We will explore the area past the marked doors and return here. Thanks a ton. Well then. With Alan returning to where the other Wayfarer Company employees were huddled around, we decided to follow the corridor to the left. There's someone in there. Wear the ring, maybe? Going by their silhouettes, they're unlikely to be members of the ring. Come on, lady. Get out of the way so I can see. It's the detective, some stubbly guy I don't know, and that annoyingly airy dude. Sounds like Moses, Gregor, and Honglu, respectively? Triu's conversation grew clear as the closer I approached them. You okay, fella? You bumped your head earlier. Fine as a fiddle. It was just a minor fall. This is the 3rd time it's occurred, and we ought to discuss this issue with the manager once this consultation is over. I think I'm seeing a bump on the side of Honglu's head. Anyway, you know what to do, right? At any moment, you see signs of... Don't worry, Gregor. You made it through the explanation and the footage both. You're going to be fine again. I believe in you. Look at you now. We're right where it happened, but your arm is stable, see? Ironically, fear tends to grow most unmitigated when it is distant and unseen. I understand what you might be worried about, but I don't see even the earliest portents of it. So don't hesitate to share the unfiltered thoughts that arise while you're in here. I know what I saw in the footage, but I'm still having a hard time believing it. Or, I don't know, maybe I'm just avoiding the truth when it's staring me right in the face. My case is nothing like Don Quixote's. She just needs to keep her shoes on, so it's all good and dandy for her, isn't it? Things don't work out that way for me. Whatever they're talking about sounds hella deep, guys. You sure about eavesdropping on him like this? That geezer's always weirdly cagey about himself. Maybe now's our chance to learn more about him. Sharing such an IS about himself for once. I walk away. Don Quixote gives a nonsensical interpretation of Ryoshu's acronym as Kira rolls her eyes out of exasperation. Between the bickering sinners and Kira, however, Oda stands in silence with an inscrutable look on her... Inscrutable look on her face. She's listening to the exchange between Moses and Gregor like a woman possessed. Okay, let's keep listening then. Otis was right. Damn it, she was right all along. The war isn't over. It never was, and it can't ever be over as long as this fucking joke of a gift stays attached to my arm. Barbed words. Now let's revisit a question you couldn't answer while the footage was playing. Hopefully it's become easier to answer now. You've been using that arm to fight just fine so far. How? I don't mind fighting hostiles or enemies. I'm not the kind of person who worries about people trying to kill me. But killing my comrades, that changes things, doesn't it? I can't even control it. There's nothing I can do to even brace for it. It's unstoppable. Like some kind of time bomb counting down to unleash a disease you never know when its symptoms will set off. Even Heathcliff, who was always the first to step up when people began to spiral into self-hatred, stood in conflicted silence, his lips drawing a hard, straight line. Besides, Gregor wasn't wrong in that, at present, there wasn't any way to stop his transformation should it occur again. You've still got a good chunk of the journey left, and eventually we'll have to... No matter what lurks in the pasts of us sinners, even if they have killed hundreds, thousands, no, tens of thousands of innocent people, will you still embrace them? We'll eventually have to confront an even darker, bleaker truth of the war. Can I really trust Gregor not to crumble under that inevitable pressure? I see. You're afraid you'll end up hurting us. Well, that's... First I thought I couldn't give a hoot whether or not I accidentally murdered some of you. Okay, Gregor. It's a bit saddening to hear that. You know how it is, Honglu. We, the bus team, didn't exactly get off to a rocking good start. But through our journey, I began to think of you all as my comrades, and I was okay with that because I had too much faith in my own weakness. When I realized that I'd grown so weak I couldn't even take down some backstreet thug with this arm, I was relieved. Imagine that, the same arm, my arm, a weapon that stabbed the heart out of countless people during the Smoke War. I'll be honest, when that Hohenheim fella said I was an exception, that alone made me hope. Exception. Potential to be harmless, weaker than even a non-combatant like Yi-sung, made me hope for a life that didn't sound so bad. We all know how that went though, didn't we? Don't we? I don't know why I said didn't we. Blew up in the worst possible way. Uchiho, gone. Valentina, gone. And after that, I just couldn't bring myself to fight again, because I no longer know when this fear would eat me up again, because I'm constantly afraid of this damn gift manifesting again. The same fear you've carried all this time. How did you endure it before? Badly? Barely? Holding on to the idea that the living's gotta live on and nothing else. This really brings me back years. The memories are so clear that it's like they all happened yesterday. Best to kick me off the bus before push comes to... That can't be the answer, Gregor. You can walk away, but the danger of our journey won't leave with you. Dante and the rest of us will still be facing an endless repeat of peril. It's not like leaving the bus will bring peace to your heart. Our deaths can be reversed should an accident occur, even if it comes at the cost of Dante's suffering. The same can't be said for most people in the city. Now that's something I never expected to hear from you. Guess you're right. If we're seeing this through to any kind of end, this would be a place to do so. Not many places in the city have some warmth to them like this one does. Well, in this consultation thing's getting pretty embarrassing. I mean, it's not like I was forced to go through something as traumatizing as yours, Honglu. Truth be told, I'm not some special case. Everyone who participated in that war must have gone through more or less the same experience. Miss Moses, Otis, and even Valentina, that piece of work. You can't attach a number to our misfortunes as if there's something to be measured. When I fled from my past, I tried my hardest to avert my gaze from it. But you, Gregor, you're not like me. Every few steps that distance you from the past, you'd come to a pause to spare to look toward the path you had walked. All those years I let slip by, and all those that slip by you are dotted with fathoms of suffering that are both ineffable and beyond measure. Different experiences, different pain. Still, there's one thing common to everyone, it's that trauma leaves after effects that linger for a long time. What are yours? I dislike loud noises and people who talk too much. They sound too much like the cacophony of the war, like screaming comrades who resented me even as they lay dying, and the wounds they left in my heart bled me dry. But I thought you were fond of Miss Ezra. Miss Moses. I've talked too much. That aside, haven't you heard your fill? Might as well come out from that corner you're hiding in. She knew! Oh man, they knew we've been dropping eaves this whole time. I was actually waiting for just the right time to come out and say a few words, but I couldn't find an appropriate moment to... well, I would have shared... I've had to share this with Manager Butter or the rest of the fellas sooner or later, so I don't really mind, but... What's she doing here? T.A. Temporary ally? I would have thought temporary ally, but no. Temporary accompaniment. Don't be an asshole. I'm working my ass off to help you guys. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You're right on time. I'm working on a theory, but I don't have all the clues to be absolutely certain. A word from someone in the know may immensely improve my confidence in the theory. Kira, do you know which door the Thumb's nurse father was most attached to? Huh? No, duh. Duh? That's supposed to be obvious? Didn't you guys all see her? You think I just chat up a scary lady like that? Dude, she was beating the ever-loving shit out of Lucio every time I saw them together. Oh yeah, he went down fighting you guys to the end, huh? Yeah, said stuff about her generosity and all that, and fought till he died. Damn, that's unexpected. Being real for a second here, I thought he was totally gonna swap sides. Really? That lad? Why is that? You know the vibes. The guys don't know because you haven't seen him long enough without the scary lady always looming over him. What's up? Gonna stab her in the spine? You! Look, I think you might be training wrong because, like, you're not improving as much as you should from all that grind. Let me show you what I learned about sword swings from this comic book. That is not how my master has instructed me. A textbook cannot be permitted to even have a single deviation if it means to repay the debt it owes. Why are you so obsessed with all that crap anyway? You don't even like that old lady. But you're not so different from me in that regard, are you? Bro, what the heck are you talking about? I love my papa. Seriously, I thought things were going to crash and burn before Yoshihide even came home. Suppose textbook and I had that in common. This one doesn't know. Let me redirect the question toward you, Sinner Ryoshu. Hopefully this touches upon one of your more intact memories. Do you know which of these doors the Thumb Nurse Father showed particular attachment to? Or the doors she used most often? Why ask me? Fine. Yes, I do remember. You don't even need clocks to help to piece it back together. It's that one. The door with the metal pieces dangling from it. Holy shit, I almost died out there. Son of a bitch, a fucking fly. Where did those G-Corp fucks even drag those gross pests from? Mom? Are you okay? Do I look okay to you? Ticket? No, not really. I'm fine. You know how I don't break easy. Should have been there to see me tear the head off that G-Corp vermin, Ticket. But Mom, your leg's bleeding a lot. Here comes another mission. Boy, they really can't do shit without me, huh? So much for a break. The fuck is this? Bandages for you. Is this kid serious? They got truckloads of expensive treatments on the ready to patch me up the moment I get back to the field. Well, okay, never mind. Hey, this works. Mom? Sit tight and don't start any trouble. I'll teach you some sword techniques once I'm back. Must have been her years in the smoke war. Yeah, fighting in the war took a lot out of her and left her perpetually exhausted. But she marched to every battle with a smile, stopped drinking, stopped baiting me too. Like a blissful idiot who forgot she was still neck deep in the inescapable pit called the House of Spiders. Well, the ironic peace didn't last. Sometime after the war ended, someone she called the Consigliere of the Thumb visited the House of Spiders as a tutor. That's when she went right back to drinking herself into a shit-faced stupor day after day. The beatings returned, and so did the edge in her profanities. It was pathetic. Hold on. Why the... Sure, I was on the losing side, but wasn't Valentina on the winning side? A war hero at that? Ever heard of the regulation that prevents smoke-borne participants from moving into I-Corp and K-Corp nests? Otis, that is some relevance to you, isn't it? The common thread between these post-war rules is that they make the lives of veterans difficult. Dubious rules that don't discriminate between winners and losers. I see, there must have been things going on behind the scenes there too. But doesn't that mean that back door will drop us into a trench they dug during the war? Yes, and Gregor will be the one to open it. Wait, me? Yes, others can do it for you, but what would be the point? You sure this won't just end up giving him more nightmares? I don't see how this helps him in any way. We do not have any means to treat whatever it is that slumbers within his arm. However, I would surmise that the underlying cause of this sudden transformation wasn't the arm itself. Then what? It's trauma. His arm took control after his psyche was crushed by the weight of the unspeakable memories coming back to haunt him. It's not because the arm went berserk that he started reliving this painful past. It's the other way around, isn't that so? You can come to understand that the war is really over, and that what others say, no matter how closely they echo the past, is not necessarily aimed at you. Then you may be able to loosen your grip on the fear and anxiety that your arm could metamorphose at any moment. When we get to Purgatory, this is going to be a major arc, isn't it? And maybe Faust in the Gesellschaft, maybe that's also going to be coinciding with it. While her suggestion may seem blunt, it is one of the most basic treatment principles of M-Corp's psychotherapy centers. Fine, then. Guess I'll open it up. Gregor walked up to the door, grabbed its handle, then paused. Taking slow, deep breaths. And with one arm, he gently opened the door. Yeah, well, he only has one arm that can open the fucking door. Thank you, Dante. Why are you running? You should be taking the lead on the front lines with our G-Corp banner held high. I don't want to die. It's nice to have a place to go back to. Yuri! Herman! Oh right, happy 15th birthday. But you can't possibly have the cheek to call me cruel. You G-Corp pasts were far more messed up than I ever was, ripping people apart, cannibalizing them. You were nothing but a swarm of fucked up monsters. Thought I'd woken up from the dream. But I was still. Okay. No, this is something that I was wondering about. Okay, so as it pertains to Gregor and metamorphosis, he metamorphosized. Oh, why can't I think of his name? It's like Samsa Gregor. Well, okay, but Gregor metamorphized. He turned into the bug. He turned into the bug while he was dreaming. And his dreams are what are largely conveyed in the story. So, relating this to the fact that he is still technically dreaming, that kind of suggests
살아서 돌아갈 수만 있다면 무엇이든.
Oh, shit. Okay. Let me reset my deployment order. Set him for... No,
살아서
actually, I'll
돌아갈
set him
수만
last.
있다면
내 작품 또 보고 싶었나 봐.
전시 중.
소재가 좀
시연회의 일정이 잡혔습니까?
살아서 돌아갈 수만 있다면
나를 점 찍었다면
Like that,
격에
Like
맞는
that?
조언도 함께 준비하도록.
I guess.
제가 파질 상대가 있나 보군.
H선
녹슨 총에 날카롭지 않은 화살초.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah.
당장 집행해주지.
Okay. Yeah, weird that it took a second. This place, it's just a boring old office. I was kind of ready to be shook, thinking we were about to walk into a war zone or something. You recognize this place? Of course I do. My last job before Limbus Company. Why the fuck would she have a door that leads here? My desk was over there. Here's a tip, fellas. When you're working in an office like this, always get a corner desk facing the wall if you can help it. Lets you hide from your boss, man. Out of sight, out of mind, you know? You can do whatever you want that way. Work, chill, or even freak out in terror at the slightest sound of metal clinking. Nobody will catch you. Nobody will think you're a bother to other people. Ooh, Gregor, baby girl. Ooh. Ooh, don't gotta think about that. Gregor grins, a bitter, mocking smile directed at himself. The only downside of this desk arrangement being people walking up behind me to get my attention. Higher-ups just had to holler, "Hey, vet hire," and I'd scuttle right up to them, but others can't do that. So whenever people walked up to me from behind, I'd get afraid that I might cause an incident. Vet hire must be about the post-war veteran special employment. Right, but I couldn't possibly complain. Wouldn't have gotten that job without it, you know? Not everyone was lucky enough to be considered for that. I was better off than most. Gregor? Head manager Ted? He's just a guy. Gregor whipped around, his hand instinctively leaping to his other arm. It was an unfamiliar man in a clean suit standing behind us. Really is you, Gregor. And I see some new faces with you. Oh, wait. Oh, you folks must be the account that the guys on the other team asked us to leave the meeting room open for. Landed a new job, huh? See, you've got a new employee card right there. Well, so how have you been doing? Me? Same old. Well, enough. It's not like I've got anywhere else to go, right? I'm not surprised you found your new work so soon. You're always a dependable guy. Is the pay good? How's life, man? Oh yeah, you were gonna sell that rusty commemorative coin. Some kind of metal, right? Hope you got paid good money for that. Look at me, asking me how's life to a fellow citizen. Can't imagine anybody would have anything good to say to that, huh? Moving on. Hope no one's hounding you with vet hire shit all over there. No, not at all. There's none of that here. Hey, that's good to hear, man. Glad you don't have to deal with that kind of dang jackass of an exec VP messing with you like he was a war veteran himself. You know how many years I had to hear that geezer bragging about how he profiteered from war, pulling himself up by his bootstraps, about how every peril is an opportunity waiting to be found, blah, 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 blah. I'm preaching to the choir, aren't I? That guy, is he still taking his sauna breaks during work hours? What do you think? His seat misses his ass every day. Oh, get this? Remember how he used to call you special employment fellas Nepo Force? A few days ago, his name showed up in the HR report. Guess what it said? Turns out he was lining his pockets with kickbacks when he was choosing the fixer office for a partnership project. There's about to be a vacancy in the office real soon. Really? Isn't he, an actual Nepo? Thought he's the president's family. Yeah, man, it's that bad. It's what everyone ever wants. It's what everyone ever wants to think about by the water cool. If there's anything I learned here, it's the people who are obsessed with back in my days are all kind of like him. True facts. They hate how their glory days are behind them, kind of like A distraction from how pathetic they are now. Ooh, facts. And hey, backstreet kids like myself don't have glory days to look back on and yearn for, right? I look back and it's doom and gloom, you know? If you never hit rock bottom, you also know the only way left to go is up. You said something like that before, yeah? Yeah? Guess it's my own brand of bullshit philosophy. Oh boy, look at me running my mouth in front of customers. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, don't worry about it. That's a pretty unique prosthesis you've got there. No worries, but it seemed that you were on your way to submit those proposals. Gee golly, I'm late. Thank you for snapping me out of it. I'm gonna get one heck of a scolding. Anyway, Gregor, hit me up sometime, huh? Let's go on catch up over a drink or something. Sure, if I get a chance. The man who seemed like Gregor's former co-worker hurried away, but he didn't forget to wave us a good-natured goodbye. I can see a little bit of him in the way you talk, Gregor. Come on, I don't sound as old as he does, do I? Moses, who had been quietly observing as Gregor and his former co-worker chatted, exhaled a light stream of smoke and slowly began to speak. Many of us who returned from the war seem to suffer from a certain misconception. When we are told to remember, it does not mean we are forbidden to live through the nightmare of the past over and over again. We are not being cursed to relive the pain and suffer in it. Both Ezra and I. We are both still trying to be free of the misconception we inflicted on ourselves. It's not like I remember because I want to. Well, if you can't bring yourself to forget them, you might as well include in your memory the fact that the war was indeed ended. Fine. You're not wrong there. Gregor stared at his right arm for a while, quietly contemplating. Manage, bud. Can't say I give you any reassurance, but just going on with my life seems to be the best answer for now. I want to ask if you're okay with that, though. I'll manage, but it's you who's going to have to deal with the aftermath. Gregor would always say the same to those suffering from the cruelty inherent in living. Still, live on. Just live on. Yet even as his lips spoke those words, his eyes would take on a desperate and unfocused look, shaded beneath despair. Today, though, the gloomy gray seemed to give way to just a hint of the blue sky beyond. This may be no more than a single ray of the sun peering through the dark clouds that have long suffocated the sky. It would probably take much more than this for the shadows to be fully lifted, but don't you worry, I'll be fine. It's a big step forward for him to have addressed even a little bit of that persistent anxiety from the past. Then when we emerged from the door, we saw Udis facing away from us, her weapon drawn. Wait, I don't think she even followed us through the door. Huh? Were you here the entire time? Yes, and I was told by that Allen figure that someone had to stay behind and watch the door during these operations. So I stayed and... Oh man, it's those asshats again. Weird. The corridor's not a place for those newbies to be roaming around on their own. As you can see, a few uninvited guests have decided to visit us through a different door. I looked past Udis just in time to see more Fovists pouring into the corridor through a different back door. They must be trying to find a way to get to the ring nurse father's corridor. Well, we can't just let them through, can we? Kill them all. Hell yeah, Dante. $21 stacks? 21? He starts with 10, so he can just activate Tibia. Like... Is this just normal? She'll have neutral. Even with clash power increase. That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna settle on this. So he's gonna have Tibia. Wait, no, he activated Tibia already.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Well, alright. And let me guess. Faust is also going to activate Fascia next turn.
예술적이네요.
At 10 plus corpus ingredient count, consume 5 corpus ingredient count. How much has she consumed? I apply a filter to it. She hasn't consumed any, so she's not even gonna be able to. Wait, it increased her. Oh, right, he's not of type 4. So, resonance, direct resonance, increases clash, or increases offense level. No. No, it doesn't. What? Oh, it must be because... No, that doesn't make any sense. What? He doesn't have any negative effects on him. This is the guy that does. I'm not gonna lie, I don't quite understand. Pulling out his guts. Oh, gimme. Why did they give her gluttony? A gluttony skill 3. That's so fucking bad. Well, actually, thinking about it, they didn't give these guys lust skill 3s just in the first place. They didn't give the student IDs lust skill 3s despite their entire kit being centered around using lust skills. It be what it be, and it will do what it be, and and you'll do what you do, and you'll be what you do, and you'll do the thing, and then
감상은
have you
어떤가?
ever had a dream where you did the thing and then yeah. I'm not thinking. I just kind of want to read.
여기가 네 약점인가?
Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to have very, shall I say, prescient commentary on what's happening right now. She doesn't have reflection. So is her counter not going to be empowered? Oh. It's because she's not targeting someone with... Yeah, no negative offense. If only I had a plague spreader. Damn. Why does Holiday require pride and sloth? Envy I can understand. Wrath makes sense. Lust makes sense. Sloth? And pride. Shit, you could even give it gluttony, and it would still work with the kit. But why pride? Why is pride its highest? What? I can't feel that shit. The fuck? What were they cooking?
퇴장 시간이 되었답니다. 그럼 안녕히.
항상 저희 영감을 일깨워 주시는군요.
Sorry, I'm looking at my phone real quick.
들리세요? 한 쌍의 상황골과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티비아의 멜로디가
이제야 힘을 받나요?
파우스트, 신체파의 예술을 보여줄 시간이랍니다.
이제야 힘을 받나요?
작품 완성.
보여드려야겠군요.
돌아가면 의견을 나누시.
외면의 예술을. 저것들 전부 녹여서 썰어버려도 상관없지?
There. It's done. I don't understand. Why is this monolith just suddenly spawning here? It's in the shape of Omega. Which makes me think that the gods are going to become more relevant during Canto 10 as well. Because this shit does not make sense. Why is there so much Greek imagery all of a sudden?
빠르게 처리하지.
Hmm.
신체파의 예술을 보여줄
She
시간이랍니다.
has the same coin reuse mechanic as
저희
Ring Hong Lu.
빼고 틀을 잡고 저의 혈관에 덮게. 나쁘지 않아요.
Ring Hong Lu. I mean,
이제야
Ring Song.
친해졌네요.
자세가 무너졌나?
훌륭한 단말만해요. 약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 세 가지 작품을 뜻하죠. 비록 지금 제 작품이 만인의 신금을 울리지는
Is there gonna be story before this?
여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을 선보이고 있는 것 같네요.
Okay, bro. Whatever you say.
대갚아줄 상대가 있나 보군.
Is there no way to get more pride on this team with a skill 1? Does not seem like there is. At least an easy way. There's a skill 2. He's got a skill 3, which is actually conditional. But, maybe LCE go? Maybe? Or am I thinking of Lamp? Lamp. Yeah, no, this is... not going to have any... Lamp has skill 3 again. Why can't you have pride, motherfucker? Oh my god. He gets a skill 1. What's her passive again? Maybe I use her. 5 pride owned. Upon defeating an enemy, gain +2 charge count. That's from her skill 3, and she's the only person who can produce it. I'm so tempted to just use her. Defibrillation sounds like a very, very reasonably good passive. There's nothing negative to say about it. not trying to sound like I'm like making a joke out of that or anything either. Like, that just is what I think. That's a surprisingly reasonable skill. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to swap him off. I can't make decisions. I gotta roll through my feelings. Okay, no more rolls. Except for my pay. I just wanted shards. It wasn't worth doing that though. I'll be completely frank. And let me grab these before I forget. That's not that many. I need more! Live. Quickly buy the rest of these. Words, thoughts, prayers. Basement? Oh boy, I do love going into people's basements uninvited.
마침내 현장 투입인가.
He'd be good on this team too. But I need to use the middle. Wait. The Ring Hong Lu has a skill 1 that's Pride? Its attack does not hit. Forward offense. When the fuck does that occur? When the Ring faction allied identities use a skill, lose 1 viewing the tableau. This unit does not have viewing the tableau. Replace one of its base skills with closing time installation art number 1. Your flesh and bones as the gallery seats. At next turn start, once per encounter, prioritizes the skill on the leftmost slot's bottom row on the dashboard. The place skill becomes again accessible due to being replaced with a different skill. Activate the above effect again. This unit was staggered for the first time in this counter. Recover from stagger. Oh, I see. Closing time, installation art number 1. Your flesh and bones is the gallery seats. Okay. Okay. That makes sense now. So he gets to use installation number 1. One in time? Yeah, it seems like there's no way to regain it unless it's part of... Nope. Nope. You can only use it once per encounter, but I mean,
어,
it's pretty powerful.
살아서 돌아가.
선원 집합. 이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
Once we dealt with the Falvas who invaded the Thumb Nurse Father's destroyed corridor, we left for the indexes and ran into a few familiar faces waiting for us at our destination. Huh? Don't you guys have the day off? Yeah, but I thought I might as well come along. It's, you know, you keep summoning us while we're in the middle of something, so I decided that it might actually be more convenient for us to be with you in person. Your summoning occurred at the most unideal moment. This is not ideal. Now, I know you weren't doing it on purpose, but all 3 times you summoned me, I was leaning over snacks topped with a bunch of whipped cream. The day I learned that blacking out and waking up to a me-shaped indent in a cake I was about to chow down doesn't make for a very relaxing break. Sorry about that. I should have checked in with you guys before summoning, but I'm still getting used to it. Okay, now you're being too sorry. No hard feelings here, you know? I'm tagging along because I need some exercise. That's all. I appreciate the additional employee assignments. Now, if you could share any information you know about yet another order. I hung out here all the time, so I know this place a little. There was this super clingy, annoying little... no, that wasn't the mask dude. There was this other, Is there something you don't remember? Oh, right. Kira probably doesn't remember Sora. Sora? I don't think that name rings any bells for us either. Is that someone who used to live here? Yeah. Well, Sora was the Index Apprentice, so she probably lived here. Or Suit the Index Apprentice. Ooh. Pray tell, wherefore is that the middle, the thumb, and the ring each have apprentices, yet the index and pinky lack them? It would indeed be quite odd if a mere 3 of the 5 fingers get an apprentice each. Retrace I might my recollections, yet I find it like following a trail of odorless air, invisible and unreal. No, there was someone, but I can't. Representations of the pinky and index's apprentices are missing. No, to me, more precise, a merciless blade has shredded and reduced them to intangible formlessness. How refreshing to hear that same impression from someone else rather than myself for once. As it seems that I was the only one who remembered the 2 apprentices, I retraced back to our first meeting and briefly shared what I knew about Sora. Huh. She doesn't sound like a very forgettable character. Well, the Araya Shiki cut her into ribbons. That would explain why it feels as though I'm recalling a sequence of events with a critical part missing in between. I can almost imagine her, giggling to herself like a creepy loner, and she probably wears glasses too, right? Like one of those gloomy attributes from Amrai? Yeah? You see, so that's why it feels like I'm tearing through each strand of a weave. Ish. Let's say the world's made of strings or threads, Clock. With every slash, the blade would be cutting through the flow of strands that twine to compose one's existence. When an object is severed forever beyond repair, you think neither trace nor shape would be left of it. But now that you've pieced some of it together, it's almost... Instead of elaborating further, Ryoshu fell silent again, save for the sound of the tip of her cigarette turning to ash, like she was recalling another incomplete memory. Guess she's trying to avoid over-speculating on what she doesn't know for sure. Damn, that totally breaks the meta. I had a vague idea of how it works, but if this is the first time I'm hearing the deets, Papa had me go through 4 ramp-up stages to remove seals like that. Oh, yeah. Papa had me go through 4 ramp-up stages and remove seals to, like, even make full use of his sword. Oh, he had to go through 4 ramp-up stages and remove seals to, like, even make full use of his sword. Honestly, yours needs a trade-off. Your sword totally power creeps Papa's. T.O.? There's plenty already. Oh, so true. Guess slicing your memories away is one hell of a trade-off, sorry. Okay, so I'm guessing you don't have anything to contribute for this corridor. Oh, I've got one. I don't know where it leads, but the index guy used it all the time. Hopefully it doesn't drop us into an army of indexes. TPU. They're rarely in big groups. So that's pretty unlikely. Ow! What was that for, Ryoshu? Wait, did you just hit me with that sword handle? I didn't do anything. But I saw it. I saw Ryoshu's scabbard, Oriah, suddenly jerking to the sky, prodding Sinclair like it was annoyed by something. I won't STS. I'll SYLC until you can barely walk. SYLC is slice your limbs clean, right? Until you can barely walk. I don't know what SDS is. I swear, this isn't slander or whatever. Look, you poked me so hard it left a mark on my arm. See here. Well, I don't want to read too much into it, but Scabbard was rattling like it was irritated by something. Stop interpreting for her. This is why she won't stop making up these nonsense acronyms. It's making it worse. I gotta stop her and translating her for her somehow. Oriah? Wait, that voice just now sounded a lot like Oriah's. Dante, you saw that too, right? Ryoshu didn't do anything. Wait, really? It wasn't her? No. That is decided. To be fair to Sinclair, no one else but I saw in full detail how the scabbard came to be. Which means that he couldn't imagine in his wildest dreams that the scabbard poked him of his own volition. Doesn't seem like any of the sinners heard that voice either. Damn, you guys bully him a lot, huh? Well, the lad's been long overdue for a little smack upside his noggin. We should head inside. Let's not keep Alan waiting. Kira directed us towards an almost disturbingly normal wooden door, so featureless that I could have mistaken it for any of the dozens of doors we'd walked past in the other nests. We were greeted by a whiff of stale, musty air the moment we walked through the door. I think this leads to a basement. That man doesn't have normal legs, and he has very long ears. I think this leads to a basement, and emerged to what appears to be an almost dungeon-like basement area. Whenever the masked unk's beeper rang, he'd walk through this door. So, who are they? The index. Signs of life. There were people living down here up until just a few hours ago. Why are you here, paper slips? You're only executing the prescript. I've had it with these prescripts. Though at least yours don't make annoying beeps. The basement was stocked up with shelf-stable and non-perishable food. Cells were all completely empty, save for what looked like a makeshift bathroom in each of them. It's likely that this dungeon was used to imprison individuals of varying features that may be required to complete a prescript. Seriously? This room seems to have been used for something worse than simple incarceration. Among Faust's conjectures is that the captives were conditioned in body and mind in various ways to match the prescript's liking. Sounds like that guy was just as crazy as the rest of them. Oh, wait. That staircase right there leads up. Let's check out what's... Freaking annoying, man. The heck are you doing? You cannot enter through this door. Oh, I see. Another griefer body blocking the doorway. Move. I need to see something. The will of the prescript forbids you. You cannot enter through this door. What do we do? Is it worth forcing our way in there? They seem pretty adamant about not letting us in. I'd prefer if we stayed as far away as possible for anything that has to do with the gods. I mean, prescripts, but nothing in this basement gives me any indication as to where the door connects to. Again with the gods thing. And we got... This is something to do with her. this has something to do with her, almost certainly, with the satyr-looking motherfucker, and the fact that she mentions the gods instead of the prescripts. We haven't really gotten anything to do with the gods of the city. But they have been hinted at, even since Library of Ruina, when we got to really meet the Index. Udis is right. We're gonna have to get upstairs somehow if we want to get an idea of where this door leads. Rian's been using his basement, then I'd like to see what's upstairs. Honestly, learning that this door connects to some basement is more than enough intel to cross it off the list. Still, if this has anything to do with Ryoshu's memories... Alright then, let's push through. Executing your command, Executive Manager. The will of the prescript is absolute. Is it, though? Yeah, I'm kind of... Oh, this isn't... Oh, you're marked. Okay. This is a focused battle. It's not a free battle. Why is this unknown win percentage? Wouldn't that normally be marked? Consume. Consume corpus so you can use your big thing. Wait a minute, don't use that.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
Get these boys on us.
더 야성적인 깊이로.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Rojo, why are you rolling tails? Rojo, why?
나쁘지 않.
보여드려야겠군요. 외면의 예술을.
Oh my god, I soy-faced. Three. Oh yeah, I can't use DDEDR now. Because she's not gonna win. She's the one marked. She's not clashing. Okay. She's not gonna get hit. Oh. Oh, whoops. These guys should lose SP pretty quick.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
He rolls a 17! What? What the fuck?
아이씨, 짜증나게.
Okay, I gotta admit, Faust losing that clash, not her fault,
어중간한 예술은
considering the circumstances.
반만 남았어도 이 정도쯤은 바이올렛 브레이크 슬램!
예술적이네요.
Five. So I can only redirect one away from him. Missile strokes. Wait, didn't I already make this one before? She visual on my strokes till I...
어디에서도 볼 수 없을 색채로. 아이씨, 짜증나게.
마지막으로 남길 말은
Man, this kettle corn kind of sucks to eat sometimes when you randomly just have... Bullet coins! Don't mind me. Yeah, anyways, this kettle corn kind of fucking hurts. She's 9. Come on, you need more. But I am getting pride, albeit somewhat slowly.
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
퇴장 시간이 되었답니다. 그럼
Big damage?
항상
Big damage.
저희 영감을 일깨워 주시는군요.
다음엔 당신을 소재로 써보고 싶습니다.
Huh? Oh, that's what Corpus Theater is. Like it's a visual effect. Okay. I don't even think it's gonna matter. But I'm gonna have her use DDEDR.
내가 눈에
It's probably gonna
새겨주지.
consume most of her health. Or just gonna consume
그 소재
1% of her health.
가져갈래요.
들리세요? 한 쌍의 상황볼과 24개의 늑골이 자아내는 티비아의
I gotta wonder
멜로디가
if Ro's even gonna be alive at that point.
헛!
No, he is. She has 0 SP.
다음엔
이제야
당신을 소재로
완성되었나?
써보고 싶습니다.
That DDEDR was very disappointing. What's up there? You may speak to me casually, Araya, but in the presence of other apprentices, perhaps you should find it preferable to mimic the tone of the Dihui Star. Come on, it's not like I wanted to be the Dihui Star. Just let me do whatever I want while I'm here. Certainly, you have a point. So what's there? Up the stairs. I'm not sure myself. I've never been upstairs. Aren't you even a little curious? Why bother peeling back the heavens to see what is beyond? Those wanting of yearning needn't raise their heads skyward. Am I seeing Araya's memories? Look, what did you see? I'm not sure, but now we've got another reason to check what's upstairs.
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 3가지 작품을 뜻하죠. 비록 지금 제 작품이
How many more
만인의
nodes are
심금을
there?
울리지는 못하더라도 여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을 선보이고 있는 것 같네요.
Okay, one more and then I'm gonna stop.
발버둥 칠 수밖에.
I was hoping I could just complete this, but goddamn, this is taking fucking forever. Gather ingredient blue.
관람 중에는 정수.
Blood-bathed objet.
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
합격장.
어중간한 예술은 물어뜯어 고칠 수밖에. 아이씨, 짜증나게.
Sorry, I'm closing the bag. Oh, I can't.
Impasto.
I can't get it to pick up on the mic. Not really. Noise cancellation's too good. Oh wow, it actually like suppressed my voice as well. While it was suppressing the audio from the bag, it was suppressing the audio of my voice too. Neat. Five. Okay. Yeah, can't really stop them from hitting their target.
아이씨, 짜증나게.
나쁘지 않고.
왜? 좀 긁혔어?
Gord's
남았어도
Gord's having fun playing with her with one of her sushi toys. Hopeless? That's crazy. Still neutral. I mean, surely this guy's gonna die when he's got two different people targeting. Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna aim for the one that is further away from having a stagger threshold hit than the rest.
감상은 어떤가요?
수많은 것들이 옥죄어 온다.
God, she's going everywhere. Ooh. Made him turn into a fine red mist. Ooh, is that a Library of Ruina reference? Ooh. Yeah. I'm still planning on streaming later today. That'll be Dark Souls. Dark Souls good man. She souls on my good man till I legally represent you. This is closing time installation. Oh, wait, what? Oh, shit. Okay.
회장 시간이 되었답니다. 그럼 안녕히.
항상 저희 영감을 일깨워 주시는군요.
파우스트, 신체파의
파우스트?
예술을 보여줄 시간이랍니다.
That's what that skill does. I see. Wait, why is she back in her armor?
보여드려야겠군요.
Oh, now she's out of her armor. In that fucking... Is this caused by Hong Liu?
관람 중에는 정수.
Does he decorate the battlefield with one of these every single time he uses his skill 3? If so, that's dedication to a single art piece that I can't really respect. Literally doing the same thing every single time. Maybe that's why he's a washed up robo-unk. Nah, they do in blood. ugly. They represented him as the fiend in the back.
그걸로 하지.
I'm gonna be real. I haven't used Udis, Ring Udis,
이제야 완성되었나?
for years at this point. I think
전부 녹여서 썰어
not
먹어도
since like
상관없지?
the first time that she came out. And I mean, it's been a year since. It's been 2 years. This game has been out for 3 years. I'm having to really think about how long I've been playing this game
일리 있는 의견이다. 그걸로 하지.
now.
왜? 좀 긁혔어?
이제야 완성되었나?
And we're finally getting to the end of Arc 1.
영감이 떠올랐어요. 이제야
We aren't
진정해.
even there quite yet. We still got 2 more cantos, which is probably going to take another year. Why are there bullet holes? Obviously, this is the place that's made in reference to this is Roland's home. Or, well, I mean, it may not be his home exactly, but it's set out and laid out like it's his home. Kind of a letdown when they were body blocking the door, like there was some big secret behind it. Right? Looks like just any other average family home. Oh man, I got cleaning up a chore, but peeps should at least dust their home once in a while. The thick layer of dust covering every surface in the blotchy wallpaper made it clear that no one's been living here for a good while. Whichever family lived here must have had a child. Look, there are drawings and dolls too, though it seems like this place had been abandoned for quite a while. Could something bad have happened here? Yeah, something must have happened in here because that caused the family to flee and they never got to return. Yeah, lots of evidence suggesting that. The open door, the single shoe just lying around. Someone fled their home for some reason, never returned. I don't know, it's kind of hard to narrow down the cause. It could have really been anything. Are you searching for something in particular, Ryoshu? Yes, but it doesn't seem to be here. Reframed photo was singed beyond recognition, and whatever documents there were have been torn to shreds. Kinda like my memories. So this wasn't where he escaped to, huh? Oh, she was looking for him! The index nurse father, Rian. The last time we saw him, he fled the house via the corridor after suffering a severe wound at Ryoshu's hand. If by some miracle he survived, there's a chance he'd come after Ryoshu again, but something about our last encounter led me to believe that this was the last time Ryoshu would ever see him. This is... Do you recognize this drawing? I found myself hoping to see Ryoshu piece together another memory. She'd been recalling new details all day whenever something caught her attention. Sadly, she responded by softly shaking her head. No, I don't.
약지에 감긴 세 바퀴의 반지는 마에스트로가 되기 위해 인정받은 3가지 작품을 뜻하죠.
Huh?
비록 지금
This one
제
has a-
작품이 만인의 심금을 울리지는 못하더라도 여전히 반지에 부끄럽지 않은 작품을
Is this the boss?
선보여드리겠네요.
Okay, well, I guess this is a good time to stop then. Because I don't think I want to sit around and try and fight the boss. I'll get these, and then eventually I'll have this. Well, not eventually. I mean, I gotta get it in the next 5 days. I'll probably do off stream a little grinding to get these last two, because I think I can pull up like 600 thread, and I can do it. I can do it in 5 days. And I'm sure they're gonna have a book gawk for this one eventually too. Oh god, is that when they're gonna have fucking Matthias and Buddhist? Valentina? Is that when their IDs are gonna come out? Oh god. Ugh. Okay, well, hopefully we don't have to wait that long to get a Lucio, a Valentina, or a Matthias ID, because that would kind of suck. I'm just quickly looking at what the shards I have are. What does this do? What do you do? Heal 10% HP for 2 allies that have the lowest current HP percentages and apply 2 Scarlet Moth? Heal stack percent HP, minimum HP we healed 1. Turn end, heal SP equal to stack. Additional allies equal to Lust Resonance -1, max 2 allies. And if the healed ally has equipped a Lust skill, heal 6 SP on the said ally as well. Ooh. Ooh. Is there a max stack? There isn't. Oh, wait, there's 3. Yeah, it's 3. So you can use it 2 times in a row. Or 2 turns in a row, and it will apply the maximum stack size. This unit's leftmost base attack skill on the dashboard is a Wrath Aura Lust skill at attack end. Deal 30% of the damage dealt against the main target with that skill as its corresponding affinity damage to a random enemy. Max 30 damage for focused encounters apart. This unit dealt the maximum possible damage with the above effect to gain 1 affinity damage up for the corresponding affinity next turn and disable the above effect from triggering for 2 turns. Ooh. That sounds pretty good, honestly. The burn is probably the easier of the two to stack. And I mean, she's the only thing I need right now. So I'm going to funnel all all of my resources to getting her. Because Walpurgis Nacht is not for a little bit. And I'm only missing a mere so. Anyways, yeah. Thank you for coming by. I am Wisteria Cassiopei, and I hope you had an enjoyable time. It's a little early in the day, so I probably wouldn't recommend going to sleep. Speaking from experience. But I think you should have a great day. And, yeah. You should have a good day, you should enjoy your day, and you should, do something positive with your day, Come by later and I'll be doing more Dark Souls 3. Okay? Just like I scheduled originally, and I plan to do. I think later this weekend I'm probably going to be doing a little bit more Limbus Company to finally finish it, but it is what it is. Anyways, good.